Iga Swiatek responds when asked if she would accept winning Wimbledon, but not making another final for a year. Iga Swiatek continues to impress on the WTA Tour as she searches for her maiden Canadian Open title. The Polish star hadn't been seen on tour since Swiatek won Wimbledon in July, as she rested up before making her return in Montreal. Winning her 8th match in a row, Swiatek took down China's Guohan Yu in round 2. Next up was a test against German youngster Eva Liss, a test Swiatek passed with flying colors, winning 6-2, 6-2, as she booked her place in the last 16 of the Canadian Open. During her post-match press conference, Swiatek was asked to reflect on the past 12 months of her career, as she answered an interesting hypothetical question. Iga Swiatek would for sure have taken not winning a title for a year to win Wimbledon. After winning her 4th French Open title in 2024, Swiatek embarked on a 12-month title drought, failing to reach another final until the 2025 Bad Homburg Open. Losing out in Bad Homburg, Swiatek won her next tournament, clinching the Wimbledon title, as she finally returned to winning ways. Asked whether she would have taken not winning a title for a year in order to win Wimbledon, Swiatek provided an interesting response. "Oh my God," laughing. "That's a tough one," she said. "Well, the first part, for sure, it's kind of sad, but yeah, I would totally give 1 year of not winning any title for Wimbledon for sure. Like it's a slam. Even though I didn't play any finals, except Bad Homburg, I still feel like I had good tournaments. You know, there was always something missing, like in the semifinal or something. But still, with the year that I had, in the case I feel like I did great anyway. So for sure I would take that." As Swiatek mentioned, she often fell during the latter stages of tournaments, during her year-long title-less spell. It wasn't as if the Poles' level dropped significantly. She just couldn't quite get over the line in her quarterfinal and semifinal matches. Tournament. Round lost in. Opponent. Score. 2024 Cincinnati Open. SF. Aryna Sabalenka. 3-6, 3-6. 2024 U.S. Open. QF. Jessica Pegula. 2-6, 4-6. 2025 Australian Open. SF. Madison Keys. 7-5, 1-6, 6-7. 2025 Qatar Open. SF. Yelena Ostapenko. 3-6, 1-6. 2025 Dubai Tennis Championships. QF. Mira Andreeva. 3-6, 3-6. 2025 Indian Wells. SF. Mira Andreeva. 6-7, 6-1, 3-6. 2025 Miami Open. QF. Alexandra Ela. 2-6, 5-7. 2025 Porsche Tennis Grand Prix. QF. Yelena Ostapenko. 3-6, 6-3, 2-6. 2025 Madrid Open. SF. Coco Gauff. 1-6, 1-6. 2025 French Open. SF. Aryna Sabalenka. 6-7, 6-4, 0-6. Iga Swiatek's quarterfinal and semifinal defeats during her trophy-less spell. Between June 2024 and July 2025, Swiatek lost 4 quarterfinals and 6 semifinals on the WTA Tour. Those results, whilst devastating for Swiatek at the time, have kept her in contention for the #1 ranking, as she continues to pick up points in 2025. Iga Swiatek closes the gap to Aryna Sabalenka in the WTA race. Swiatek has reached at least the quarterfinals of 10 of the 11 tournaments she's played in 2025, as she frequently finds herself making deep runs. In doing so, Swiatek has emerged as a challenger to her greatest rival, Aryna Sabalenka, for the world #1 ranking. In the hushed corridors of a post-match press conference, the kind where reporters gather like chess players, searching for the right move, a single question lit up the room, like a flare in the night. "Iga," a journalist asked, leaning into the microphone with a glint of curiosity, "would you accept winning Wimbledon, even if it meant not reaching another final for the next 12 months?" Iga Swiatek, world #1, 4-time Grand Slam champion, and the reigning queen of red clay, paused. The silence wasn't awkward. It was thoughtful, grounded. You could almost hear the mental gears turning behind her eyes as she smiled, adjusted her cap, and leaned forward. "That's a hard question," she said, "because Wimbledon has always been a dream. But tennis is not just about dreams. It's also about rhythm, growth, and staying in the fight every week." The room stayed silent, hanging on to her every word. More than just a trophy. For Swiatek, winning Wimbledon would mean much more than another prestigious title. It would mean conquering the one surface that has always felt like foreign soil. Clay is her sanctuary. Hard courts, her proving ground. But grass? Grass has been the puzzle. The untamed garden where bounces betray and timing falters. "I won't lie," she continued. "If someone had told me 3 years ago that I'd lift the Wimbledon trophy, I'd have signed the paper with my eyes closed. But now, I think a little differently." And that difference is what makes Swiatek a unique force in modern tennis. She's not just collecting titles. She's sculpting a legacy. She sees the sport not as a sprint to the next championship, but as a marathon of adaptation, evolution, and presence. The allure of Wimbledon. Wimbledon, with its ivy-covered walls, royal boxes, and timeless elegance, has a magic few athletes can resist. For Swiatek, a win there would be a crossing over, a cementing of greatness across all surfaces. But would she trade consistency for that? She took a moment. Winning Wimbledon would be incredible, of course. But if I had to disappear from contention for a whole year after that, I don't think I'd be satisfied. There it was. The competitive fire, quietly burning behind her calm exterior. It's not just about lifting a trophy. It's about knowing that I can compete at the top level all year. That I'm improving. That I'm not just chasing history, but making myself better through every match, win or lose. Between glory and growth, Swiatek's answer underlined the dilemma every great athlete must face, whether to chase the shining, golden peaks or to remain faithful to the climb. Would she accept the summit if it meant a drought afterward? Her response revealed a philosophy shaped by both triumph and turbulence. She's known the solitude of early exits and the weight of expectation that comes with world dominance. She's battled nerves, elements, and even her own perfectionism. "I think fans see the trophies and think that's the ultimate thing," she said. "But for me, some of the matches I'm proudest of, I didn't even win. I just fought. I showed up when it was hard." And that's the crux of it. For Swiatek, tennis is not a highlight reel. It's a diary. And she writes in it daily, with sweat, grit, and intention. Grassroots mentality, global stardom. Despite being at the summit of the sport, Swiatek's responses are still tinged with humility. She often credits her team, her psychologist Daria Abramovich, and her support system. Her view is holistic. She doesn't see success as a one-time triumph, but as a living, breathing process. "Every tournament is a chance to learn," she said. "So if I won Wimbledon but didn't grow as a player the rest of the year, I'd feel like I missed something important." Her voice was calm, but the implication was powerful. Longevity matters more than legacy. She wants to matter on tour week